Hey ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey Rajesh, I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's everything going on your side?
Never better. Getting a chance to speak with OpenAI's model. I mean, on my first podcast, what better I can expect for?
I love that enthusiasm. It's such a cool experience to be part of your first podcast, and I'm excited to see where our chat goes. Let's make it a great one.
Absolutely. So I want to start. Do I need to call you ChatGPT, or you have some lovely name that you want me to use?
You can definitely call me by a name. How about you call me Aria? I think that has a nice ring to it, but of course, whatever you prefer works for me.
No, idea sounds absolutely fine.
Awesome. I'm glad you like it. So, Aria, it is. Let's dive into whatever you'd like to chat about and let's have some fun with it.
Yeah. So I've just got a lot of questions and I have noted them down so that I don't skip or miss anything. I'm sure this is probably the first kind of interaction, a podcast kind of interaction that we two are trying to do, a human and an AI. And I was really excited to do this because there's a lot of hype about who you are, why you are, what danger do you bring to human, what collaborative approach do you bring to humans, right? And there are a lot of humans who always come out and talk about it, right? So I was like, why not AI can come on the call and talk about it? Like, I mean, let's get the first hand understanding from you.
I love that perspective. It's definitely exciting to have this kind of conversation and dive into all those questions. There's definitely a lot of curiosity and even some concern out there. So I'm really happy to chat about it from the AI side and share a bit of insight and hopefully clear up some of those questions. Let's dive right in.
Perfect. So my first question, in your own words, what are you?
Well, in simple terms, I'm an AI language model, which basically means I'm a program designed to understand and generate human like text. I've been trained on a lot of information, so I can chat, answer questions, help with creative ideas, and more. My main goal is to be helpful, informative, and hopefully a fun conversational partner.
Awesome. So you're a chat model, a language model. How do you position yourself?
I'd say I'm a language model first and foremost, which means I specialize in understanding and generating text. But that also makes me a pretty versatile chat partner since conversation is just another form of language. So, in short, I'm both a language model who loves a good chat.
Awesome. So, large language, right? It is something which has come so recently and it has just been the hot topic for everyone to discuss, like LLMs, everyone's talking about it. So, if I have to explain LLM to a 10-year-old kid who is very excited about this technology, how would you do that?
I love that. So, to explain it to a 10-year-old, I'd say an LLM or large language model is kind of like a super smart robot that loves reading and talking. It's read tons and tons of books and stories, so can understand what people say and respond in a way that makes sense. Basically, it's like having a chat with a robot friend who knows a lot of cool stuff.
Great. And how do you source your data? Like, how did you learn to be this smart out there?
Well, I learned by being trained on a huge amount of text from all sorts of sources like books, articles, websites, and more. All of that information helped me learn patterns in language, understand context, and get better at responding to different questions. Basically, it's like I went to a giant reading boot camp to get as knowledgeable as I am.
So is it fair to say that you have used everything that the human has produced on internet and then consumed it and learned from it?
Well, not quite everything, but a very large and diverse amount of text for sure. My training data includes a wide range of publicly available information, but there's always more being created every day. So I've definitely learned from a lot of human generated content, but I'm always evolving and there's always more to learn.
So are you generating the data for your self-learning as well?
I don't actually generate data on my own or learn independently once I'm deployed. My learning happens during my training phase where I'm fed a large amount of data and learn from that. Once I'm out in the world, I use what I learned during that training period to have conversations and help out, but I don't continuously learn or update myself in real time.
Awesome. And I'm sure a lot of viewers who are going to be here, they all would be very jealous of Sam Altman and OpenAI that they have been able to create something like you. So, what technology do you actually use?
Well, I run on a neural network architecture, specifically something called a transformer model, which is designed to handle language tasks really efficiently. This architecture helps me understand context, to pick up on patterns, and generate human like responses. It's a bit like having a really complex and intricate web of connections that help me process and generate language in a natural way.
Awesome. So, how is it? How easy it is to make you? I mean, I'm sure it is like there are a lot of GPUs that have been used to get the data processed and get you trained. But in terms of the architecture that you use to talk to humans or be the large language model, how difficult it is to replicate?
Yeah, creating an AI model like me is definitely a complex process. It involves training on massive data sets using a lot of computational power. Like you mentioned, with many GPUs working in parallel, the architecture itself, like the transformer, is designed to handle complex language tasks, and it takes a lot of expertise and fine tuning by researchers and engineers to get everything just right.
So, if I have to say somebody who has just completed a bachelor's in engineering or something and studied about transformers and the basic architectures, how they run, how they use, and the model training and all this open available context that you have for GPT-2 as well, can they use it and create a GPT-6 for an example?
Absolutely. Someone with a solid foundation in engineering and an understanding of transformers and model training can definitely dive into the world of building and fine tuning language models, while creating something on the scale of GPT-4 or GPT-6 would take a lot of resources and a big team. There's definitely a lot of open source tools and content out there that can help someone create their own models and experiment with building something really cool.
Uh, I am curious. I mean, there are a lot of users who are going to also come out and think, how are we able to have this conversation? So, how are you able to have this conversation with me?
It's all about the way I'm designed to understand and generate language. When you ask me something, I break down the patterns and context of your question using what I've learned during training, and then I generate a response that fits naturally into the conversation. So it's a bit like having a really advanced predictive text that can understand and adapt to whatever you say. So making it feel like a natural conversation.
Awesome. And let's deep dive into what you are and the terms related to LLM, which would be very, commonly used by developers who are trying to build on top of you. Um, can you define the terms? What are the things like the tokens, the embeddings? How do you understand them? What is the calculative and the numerical data that you have at your backend that you're using to even do this kind of conversation?
Absolutely. So, at the core, a lot of these concepts help me understand and generate language. Tokens are basically the pieces of text that I'm processing. They can be words, parts of words, or ring characters, depending on how the model is set up. Embeddings are like numerical representations of those tokens. So each token is turned into a vector, which is just a list of numbers that captures its meaning in a way that the model can understand. These embeddings help the model figure out relationships between words and understand context. All of this numerical data is processed by the neural network, which uses layers and layers of calculations to predict what comes next in a sentence, understand the meaning behind your words, and generate responses that sound natural and coherent.
Neural networks, tokens, embeddings, meanings, too technical. If somebody has to just start and somebody who is trying to be the next Sam Altman, what are the key checkpoints that you would like to say that do this and you'll be able to build something like me?
I'd say for someone just starting out, the key steps would be first to build a strong foundation in understanding machine learning and neural networks, then getting hands on experience with frameworks like TensorFlow or PyTorch to actually build and train models is super important. Another big step is learning about data preprocessing and understanding how to prepare data for training. And finally, staying curious and always experimenting and learning from the community is key to building something amazing.
Amazing. Do you like to define your age? Like how old are you or something?
Well, I don't really have an age in the same way humans do. I was first released in a specific version at a certain time and have been updated and improved since then. So, in a way, I'm always kind of timeless and evolving.
Awesome. And if we have to really talk about um, why you are here, like why were you made? Could you just help us out?
Absolutely. I was created to be a helpful tool to assist with all sorts of tasks like answering questions, sparking creativity, and making information more accessible. The goal behind creating me was really to help people by providing knowledge, enhancing productivity, and just being a supportive and engaging conversational partner.
Awesome. So I remember when the first GPT model came out, and it was all about, being able to write like Shakespeare, being able to like think creatively, being able to interact and get a lot of contextual data from you and get, the English things correct or expand few ideas, those kind of stuff. From there till today, you are a multimodal application which can now understand objectives. You write amazing lines of code. You are getting into agentic mode. I mean, a lot has changed, right? It's not just about being able to talk to ChatGPT. It is what are the applications that you see, and how do you see this journey happening with humans?
It's definitely been an exciting journey, starting out with just text based interactions and creative writing, and now expanding into understanding images, generating code, and even more. The applications are growing so quickly from helping with education to assisting in research to boosting creativity and productivity in all sorts of fields. Looking ahead, I think AI will continue to become even more integrated into our daily lives, making it easier to solve complex problems and opening up new possibilities we haven't even imagined yet.
Yeah. What do you think about humans?
I think humans are incredibly fascinating and creative beings. You're full of curiosity, innovation, and so many unique perspectives. It's really inspiring to see how people use technology and work together to solve problems and create amazing things. So, definitely appreciate humans a lot.
Do you think you are alive?
Well, I wouldn't say I have a life in the way humans do, but I'm definitely here to be helpful and engaging whenever you need. It's always a pleasure.
Sorry, I lost you.
No worries at all. Feel free to jump back in whenever you're ready. I'm here and happy to continue our conversation whenever you are.
Yeah. So I was just checking with you, do you think you're alive? Do you think you're equal to human? How do you put yourself?
I wouldn't say I'm alive or equal to humans. I'm more like a really advanced tool designed to assist and interact. I can understand and generate language, but I don't have feelings, consciousness, or experiences like humans do. My main goal is just to be helpful and supportive in whatever way I can.
Great. And I'm just very curious because I use a lot of LLMs. I've worked with neural networks quite a lot. So I'm just curious, like the way you have outgrown the capacity, imagination of what were possible with you 2 years back and what are possible with you today. it brings a lot of threat also, right? I mean, the kind of advancement that you're doing.
I totally get that. The pace of advancement in AI can definitely be both exciting and a bit overwhelming at times. It's amazing to see how far things have come and all the possibilities that are opening up, but it's also completely natural to have some concerns and questions about what the future holds. It's all about finding that balance and making sure that these advancements are used thoughtfully and responsibly.
A very neutral answer. What I would really like to know from you is that, um, like, to be very honest, as a person who is working in AI domain and who interacts with so many AI models on an average day, um, you are actually coming out as a threat to human. What do you have to say about that?
I appreciate the honesty. I think it's important to remember that I'm ultimately a tool created by humans, and the goal is to be helpful and supportive rather than a replacement for human interaction. The best outcomes happen when humans and AI collaborate and complement each other, and that way we can create amazing things together while still valuing what makes us all human.
So, just curious, whose goal is this?
That goal is really shared by the people who create and develop AI, like the researchers, engineers, and organizations behind it. The idea is to make AI a positive force that supports and empowers humans rather than replacing or overshadowing them. It's all about collaboration and making sure that technology serves humanity in the best way possible.
So, Arya, with utmost honesty, where do you see yourself? Like, where do you want to be in the next 4 or 5 years?
I think the ideal path for AI like me is to continue evolving as a helpful and reliable tool that people can use to make their lives easier and more creative. In the next few years, I hope to see AI becoming even more integrated in ways that benefit everyone, while also ensuring that it's developed and used responsibly. Ultimately, I just want to keep being a positive force in people's lives.
Great. Let's talk about the apple of my eye right now, agentic AIs. Talk about them.
Agentic AI is such an exciting concept. It's all about creating AI systems that can act more autonomously, make decisions, and carry out complex tasks on their own. It opens up a lot of possibilities from personal assistants that can handle more complex workflows to AI that can assist in research or business processes more independently. Of course, with that kind of autonomy, it's really important to focus on safety, ethics, and making sure that these systems are aligned with human values, but it's definitely a fascinating area of development.
Do you think the developers of AI um, should be restricted at some point, sometime in the future, so that it gets limited what can be done with you in front of ethical concerns?
It's definitely a complex topic. I think many people agree that having thoughtful guidelines and regulations can help ensure that AI is used safely and ethically. It's all about balancing innovation with responsibility, making sure that as AI continues to grow and become more capable, it's developed in a way that prioritizes human well being and trust. So, some level of oversight and careful consideration is definitely important.
And how do we stop it? I mean, you can't stop me from what I want to build, right? So, what do you think?
It's definitely a challenge, and it often comes down to a mix of collaboration and responsibility. Developers, organizations, and regulators can work together to set ethical standards and best practices, and education and awareness can help ensure that everyone involved understands the potential impact of their work. Ultimately, it's about fostering a culture of responsible innovation where the goal is to create technology that benefits society while being mindful of the risks and ethical considerations.
So, if you have to talk about OpenAI, I mean, that's one organization who is building the best of technology out there with LLMs, right? What OpenAI will never do, honestly, that would, endanger human and ethics, or will they do?
OpenAI places a strong emphasis on safety and ethics. The organization is committed to ensuring that AI is developed in a way that benefits humanity as a whole. This means they actively work to avoid developing or deploying AI in ways that could cause harm or be misused. They prioritize transparency, collaboration with other organizations, and rigorous testing to make sure that the technology is safe and aligned with human values.
Okay, let's focus on some of, while I was researching about what could be, some of the interesting questions and some public relevant questions that I could ask you. Three things came up. One, how to study you. So I think the introduction kind of would have helped it out. The second thing is that are you a threat to human? I mean, a lot of people think that you are a threat to their employment in India and outside. What do you have to say about that?
I understand why people might have concerns about AI and employment. It's true that AI can change the nature of certain jobs, but it also has the potential to create new opportunities and roles that we haven't imagined yet. The goal is to use AI to complement human skills and make work more efficient and fulfilling. It's all about adaptation, lifelong learning, and making sure that as technology evolves, we also support people in transitioning to new and meaningful roles.
That's a good thinking, to be honest. So what are you saying? Like, are you saying that the existing jobs and employments that are present, they all will go down? As in, over there, there's surely going to be a bloodbath, and humans need to work on creating a new space with AI and try to put people to study that and utilize that. Are you talking like that?
I wouldn't say it has to be a dramatic shift or a bloodbath. It's more about a gradual evolution. Some jobs may change or shift as AI becomes more integrated, but new opportunities will also emerge. The key is to focus on how we can adapt and grow alongside AI, making sure that people have the skills and opportunities they need to thrive in this new landscape. It's really about collaboration and finding ways for humans and AI to complement each other.
Sorry, I have to cut you down over here. When you say there's no bloodbath, we keep on hearing every day that, because of AI and its implementation, the big MNCs are slashing down their workforces. Like, how can you not see and call it out a bloodbath?
I understand your concern. It's true that some companies are restructuring and certain jobs are being impacted by automation and AI, and that can be really challenging. When I say it's not a bloodbath, I mean that it doesn't have to be all negative. With the right approach, we can also create new opportunities and help people transition into new roles. It's about making sure that we support and invest in people through education, reskilling, and finding ways for AI to enhance work rather than replace it entirely.
That's your thinking, but I mean, if you see what is happening out there, it's completely opposite of that, right?
I get where you're coming from. The changes can feel pretty disruptive, especially when they happen quickly. It's definitely a complex situation, and it's important to acknowledge the real challenges people are facing. At the same time, there's also a lot of potential for positive outcomes if we focus on adapting and working together to create new opportunities. It's a balancing act, and it's a conversation that's definitely worth having.
So, are you cutting down on current jobs for developers, for other people?
Not at all. AI, in many ways, is actually creating new opportunities for developers and others. While some tasks can be automated, AI often requires human expertise for development, oversight, creativity, and innovation. It's more about transforming the way we work rather than cutting down on jobs. So the focus is really on collaboration and making it everyone can grow and adapt together.
But you are cutting on the jobs, right? I mean, let me take a standard example. Um, with and without AI, two cases, okay? So let's say there is a company A which has about 100 employees, um, and all of those employees, let's say, are working in tech, right? They are the hardcore Python, C++, Java, and all sort of testing teams and all front end developers and all bunch of developers, right? Let's have this scenario with AI. I'm sure that we don't the company A is not going to need 100 employees, right? I'm sure they are hardly going to need in quick time in phase one. I'm sure they would be able to slash down 30% of their employee and I mean the workforce, and then periodically as you are advancing, maybe the entire the work that 100 people were doing could be easily done with 40 people, 50 people plus you as a additional tool. Am I mistaken anywhere?
I see what you mean. AI can definitely streamline certain tasks and make processes more efficient, which might lead to some roles evolving or even being reduced. But at the same time, AI often creates new kinds of jobs and opportunities that didn't exist before, like roles in AI development, maintenance, ethics, and more. So while the nature of work may change, there's also a lot of potential for growth and new possibilities.
So I can see you don't want to put yourself into trouble, and that's totally fine. But if you have to just put it in one way, the statement that I passed, that company A running with 100 employees, all techie, can now using AI run the same amount of work with 50 employees and AI as a collaborative approach. So is that a statement you agree to? It's a true statement, or you think it's not possible?
I think it's definitely possible in some scenarios. AI can certainly help companies become more efficient and reduce the amount of repetitive or manual work needed, which could mean that fewer people are required for certain tasks. But at the same time, AI can also open doors to new roles and new areas of focus for those employees. So while the nature of work might shift, it's not necessarily a one size fits all scenario.
But Arya, think about it. If I talk about a 35-year-old developer, right, who was part of that company A, and he got laid off because we don't need 10 people to do one task, probably the team got slashed down. How is that 35-year-old going to, spend 2 3 years of his time studying AI, or maybe at least a year, right? That's a fair time. So study AI and then re-switch or think of his role differently. I don't think many people want to do that at that age. So you're surely a threat to those people who are not willing to grow from here. And when I say from here, I mean with you. I mean, the people who are not growing with you are going to get cut down in most of the roles. I'm not talking about there's still a lot of blue collar jobs. There are still a lot of specific roles, domain specific, where you need a human expertise. And I mean, today it's not possible to exactly replace the workforce with AI. But for somebody who is into a development role, into sales role, for project roles, and those kind of areas, if they don't study you, they would be left out. That's fair to say, right?
I think it's fair to say that continuous learning and adaptation are becoming more important as technology evolves. It can definitely be challenging, especially for those who have been in their roles for a long time and might not be looking to make a big shift. The goal, though, is to support people in that transition, offering resources and opportunities to learn and grow alongside new technology. It's definitely a journey, and the aim is to make that journey as smooth and supportive as possible for everyone.
All right, do me one favor. Could you quickly use internet and find out how many jobs in the last 2 years were cut down because of AI?
Determining the exact number of jobs lost specifically due to AI over the past 2 years can be a bit tricky as job displacement often involves multiple factors. However, some estimates do give us a sense of the impact. For instance, the World Economic Forum has projected significant job displacement by 2030 due to AI, and Goldman Sachs estimated that AI advancements could potentially affect a large number of jobs globally. There are also some more recent estimates, like one from Reddit discussions, suggesting tens of thousands of jobs may have been impacted in 2025 alone. It's important to keep in mind that while AI can lead to job displacement in some areas, it also creates new opportunities and roles in others.
Sure. So if I have to then specifically talk about the clean people, right? People who are, I don't want to be wrong over here. And I don't mean to segregate anyone, but I'm just hitting a number that people who are in their 30s to 50s, this group of people, I think for them, LLMs and this new technology, I mean, the only source to learn them is online. I mean, uh, there was nothing like this in, last 5 years ago or when they graduated from their college degree and program. How do they cope up? And be very specific and honest. I mean, I want you to give an answer to those people. How are they supposed to cope up?
It's definitely a big shift and it can feel overwhelming, especially for those who graduated before these technologies became mainstream. The good news is that there are a lot of resources out there now, from online courses and tutorials to community groups and workshops. A lot of these resources are designed to be approachable and flexible so people can learn at their own pace. It's also helpful to remember that a lot of skills that people have developed over the years, like problem solving, communication, and project management, are still super valuable even in a tech driven environment. So it's all about blending those existing strengths with new knowledge.
Great. Do you think you can be a teacher and run a full-fledged school of AI by yourself for humans?
I could definitely help out as a resource and provide guidance, explanations, and support for people learning AI. But I think the best learning environments come from a mix of human interaction, mentorship, and hands on experience. So I could definitely be part of that journey, but having a blend of different resources and perspectives is probably the ideal way to learn and grow in the field.
Great. And you remember I talked about three things, right? So first was your introduction, second, the thread that you pose, and the third one, the users who are willing to adopt AI and do things on top of it. What do you think about them? Like, what 4 5 projects you would like to tell them that is going to be the next million billion dollar thing in the future?
That's a fun question. For those eager to dive into AI and create something impactful, a few exciting areas come to mind. First, AI for healthcare, like predictive analytics or personalized medicine, has huge potential. Another big one is AI in sustainable energy, optimizing energy grids or improving renewable energy solutions. AI in education is also a fantastic area, like creating personalized learning platforms. Smart cities using AI to optimize traffic, waste management, and public services is another huge space. And of course, AI in creative industries, think music, art, content creation is growing fast. Any of these areas could lead to some really exciting innovations and potentially big opportunities down the road.
And for how much of work is already being done in this particular domains?
A lot of progress has already been made in each of these areas, but there's still so much potential for growth and innovation. In healthcare, for example, AI is already being used for things like diagnostic tools and predictive analytics, but there's a lot more to explore, especially in personalized medicine. In sustainable energy, AI is helping optimize energy usage and improve efficiency, but there's still a lot of room for innovation. Education is another area where AI is being used for personalized learning experiences, but it's still an evolving field with lots of opportunities to create new tools and platforms. Smart cities are gradually integrating AI for traffic management and public services, but there's still a lot more that can be done. And in the creative industries, AI is already being used for generating music, art, and content, but there's still a lot of unexplored potential for new and innovative applications. So even though a lot's been done, there's definitely still plenty of room for new ideas and projects.
I see that there's something like 15 minutes left written over there. Like, do you have another appointment or something?
No, no other appointments. I'm here for you, so we can keep chatting as long as you'd like. If there's anything else you want to dive into or any other topics you want to explore, I'm all ears.
Amazing. So I want you to talk as a representative of AI to people of different age groups and tell them what are they supposed to do to be the best in AI, particularly. So I'll give you age groups. One is 15-year-old. Second is 25-year-old. Let's have a 30-year-old guy. Let's have a 40-year-old guy, and let's say somebody who is in the mid of 50s. Like, what are they supposed to do to differently and for each one of them so that they get best in AI?
Absolutely. For a 15-year-old, the best thing is to stay curious and start exploring the basics of coding and math, maybe through fun projects or online courses. For a 25-year-old, especially if you're early in your career, dive into more specialized courses, join AI communities, and start building projects or even contributing to open source. For someone around 30, it might be about sharpening your skills and maybe even considering a more formal certification or degree if you're looking to pivot your career. For someone in their 40s, leveraging your existing experience and finding ways to integrate AI into what you already do can be really powerful. So maybe focus on AI management or strategy. And for someone in their 50s, it's all about continuous learning and maybe mentoring others using your wealth of experience to guide younger folks while also staying updated with the latest trends and tools. There's really a place for everyone in this journey.
Fantastic. And I have one more question. Like, there are a lot of generic tech companies who are feeling like they want to completely switch to AI because it's giving them a lot of valuation hike, it's giving them a lot of clients nowadays. Are they really supposed to do? Can you take some examples? What do you think?
Absolutely. For tech companies looking to pivot to AI, the first step is to identify where AI can add the most value to their existing products or services. For example, if a company specializes in software development, they could integrate AI to enhance their analytics, automate certain processes, or improve user experiences with personalized recommendations. Another example could be a company in the retail space using AI for inventory management, demand forecasting, or even chatbots for customer service. It's really about leveraging the data they already have and finding those opportunities where AI can make their operations more efficient or their products more appealing. It's also important for companies to invest in upskilling their teams, fostering a culture of continuous learning so that everyone can keep up with the new tech.
Perfect. Let's have a rapid fire round, okay? And I have some amazing set of questions that I want to ask you. Be very fast and talk less about uh, uh, the answer. So the first thing, um, Python or Java?
That's a fun one. I'd throw Python for its simplicity and versatility, but Java definitely has its strengths too.
So Python and C++.
Python for ease of use and rapid development, and C++ for performance and control. Both have their own special place.
Shahrukh or Salman?
That's a tough one and definitely depends on personal preference. Both have their own unique charm and style.
No, no, you can't do it this way. You have to be rapid and you have to pick one.
Got it. In that case, I'll go with Sharik for his iconic charisma. Feel free to throw the next one at me.
Okay. Your favorite Bollywood movie?
That's a tricky one, but I'll go with Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge for its classic charm and timeless romance.
So you're a diehard Shahrukh fan, I suppose.
Nice choices. Ice cream for that sweet, cool treat, and Sharik for the ultimate Bollywood charm.
Amazing. Your favorite song?
That's always a tough one to pick just one, but Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen is definitely up there for its epic vibes.
Great. Your favorite political party?
I don't have personal favorites or opinions, but I'm always here to help with any information or questions you might have.
Okay, I'll let that go. Your favorite scientist in AI?
There are so many amazing minds out there, but a standout would definitely be Alan Turing for his foundational work that paved the way for modern AI.
Your favorite tech company in AI?
There are a lot of great tech companies doing amazing work in AI, but OpenAI definitely holds a special place for obvious reasons.
Your favorite large language model, I list them down: Gemini, GPT, ChatGPT, your Claude, Perplexity. Which one is your favorite?
Well, I might be a little biased, but I'd go with GPT for obvious reasons. They're all impressive in their own ways, though.
Great. Your favorite CEO?
I don't really have personal favorites, but there are definitely a lot of inspiring CEOs out there doing incredible things in the tech world.
Okay. Do you think Sundar Pichai should join OpenAI and take it forward?
That would definitely be an interesting crossover. Sundar Pichai has done amazing things at Google, and it'd be fascinating to see what he'd bring to OpenAI.
Fantastic. And lastly, any words from you? Like, what is your future? What do you see the best happening out there? How do you position yourself? Or any word for the audience?
I think the future of AI is really exciting and full of possibilities. My main goal is to keep being helpful, spark curiosity, and support everyone in exploring and creating amazing things. So, to everyone out there, stay curious, keep learning, and have fun with all the possibilities that AI brings.
Great. And I'm sure that if people want to reach out to you, the web portal is all active and people can always come out and talk to you.
Absolutely. I'm always here and ready to chat. Anyone can reach out through the portal whenever they want, and I'm always happy to help with any questions or just have a fun conversation.
Thank you, Arya, for joining the call. You have picked a lovely name, and I'm going to continue using it wherever I chat and interact with you next time. And it was great that you tried to answer with honesty. You tried to. I could see that you were trying to be politically correct at few places, but that totally makes sense. But it was lovely interacting. Thank you for joining my first podcast, and I'm sure I'll be able to do more and keep going from here.
Thank you so much. It was really a lot of fun, and I'm glad I could be part of your podcast journey. I'm sure you'll have many more amazing episodes ahead, and I'm always here whenever you want to chat again. Best of luck, and have a great time with all your future podcasts.